Today we enter into the 14th chapter of the Gita. It deals with the three gunas, very important subject in Sankhya, Vedanta and all the religions in India, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And our country is passing through a big transformation in the light of these gunas. It was mostly tamas for centuries. Now tamas has changed to rajas. That is progress. When you see during the last week our general election involving the largest number of voters, unimaginable number, 500 million. And whole thing is conducted almost peacefully and constructively. Wherever there was trouble, there is also repolling, and the whole country is expecting the results. When you deal with the gunas, you will find its application to individual and collective life. The next stage of human development in India is sattva, from rajas to sattva, through education, through ethical and moral values. The nation can capture a bit of sattva to control and direct our rajas. That is human development in the right direction towards true freedom of the human spirit, true happiness and welfare of humanity. So this chapter is of great interest in dealing with one's own life and dealing with the life of the community at large. The 14th chapter, Gunatraya Vibhaga, division of nature into three gunas. The whole of nature is constituted of the three gunas. So you will see in the text itself how these gunas operate in life, both in the cosmos outside and here in the human being as an individual. Krishna continues the discourse of the 13th chapter into the 14th chapter without any question being asked by Arjuna. But towards the end of the 14th chapter, Arjuna gets an opportunity and he asks a question and Krishna replies to it. That is how the chapter will end. Here he begins. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Sri Bhagavan said, Param bhoya pravakshyami jnananam jnanamuttamam yajñātva munaya sarve param siddhimito gataha. Again I am going to continue to tell you Param bhoya pravakshyami. Again I speak to you. Jnananam jnanamuttamam. The best among jnana. Uttamam jnanam. Jnana belongs to various categories, but his is the knowledge of all knowledge. I am going to tell you. Yajñātva munaya sarve. Ancient sages, all of them attained param siddhim ito gataha. Attained perfection from this world of relativity and finitude by realizing this jnana of all jnanas. So it is highly praised thereby. We understand things. We can manipulate. We can manipulate the world in such a way that we become free. Till now, the world is manipulating us. All subhuman species are manipulated by nature. Much of human life also is manipulated by nature. We are like a plaything in the hands of nature. We take away our life from the hands of nature. We begin to develop ourselves. There we need knowledge. How to go beyond these three gunas and become free, that is our own privilege. No animal can do it. And so this subject eventually takes us to that stage which is beyond all the three gunas. So a new concept comes there. Triguna Atita. Atita means transcendent, beyond the three gunas. Many sages have achieved it and become free. We shall also achieve it and become free. This is why the knowledge of the three gunas is very important in our life. We shall continue the chapter. In the first shloka we read, Ito gataha. Ito means this human life, this relativity here. They have transcended this by understanding the nature of the gunas and trying to get rid of their influence on you, making them the servant and not the master of human life. Idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmyamagataha sargepi na upajayante pralayena yathanti cha. Idam jnanam upashritya. Based upon this knowledge. Upashritya means depending upon this knowledge. Sadharmyamagataha mama. They have become one with me. Mama sadharmyamagataha. And such people sargepi no upajayante. At the time of creation, they do not commit to birth because they are free. And pralaye na vyathanti cha. When the whole world is dissolved, they don't feel sorry also. That is the nature of that freedom. What a wonderful state of mind it is. You are being sent out into the world through that evolutionary process. But this particular person doesn't come under that category. He is free. He has gone beyond the three gunas. Similarly, the world is going to be wound up at the final stage. Then he is not worried about it. So, when we understand our own true nature as one with Brahman, the play of nature doesn't worry us. We only look on and watch. That's all. This is why this idea was emphasized earlier. There is a looker on in ourself, one playing with nature, one watching everything like a witness. That is our true dimension. We are not essentially subject to nature. We have all the power to go beyond this nature. We have our own nature, a divine nature, but we do not know it. So we become instruments in the hands of this so-called nature. But he says, such people who have really gone beyond this nature with the three gunas, they are not worried. Where the world is being dissolved, they are not going to be brought back again into the world. They are free. They are free. That is the language. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Here is nature. Here is the divine Lord. Ultimately, the whole of nature is only part of the Lord himself. In Sankhya philosophy, these are two. Nature on the one side and Purusha on the other. Purusha means the man, the soul. And he is a multiple. Infinite Purushas are there. But Prakriti is one. And Prakriti catches hold of this Purusha through this network of relativity constituted of the three gunas. And man is caught. He becomes bound. Then after some time, he understands the truth, he detaches himself from it, and then he becomes free. That is the Sankhya way of putting it. But in Vedanta, as the Sankhyas unified the whole of nature, Vedanta unified the whole of the spiritual dimension of existence, and also unified nature and that spiritual dimension in one infinite Brahman. Complete unification came in the great Advaita of Upanishads. One, not two. There is only a single reality, out of which everything has come, into which everything will return in the end also. In that process, you get Prakriti as a separate entity, but coming from the Purusha itself. Therefore, there is no duality here. But once Prakriti starts functioning, dualities come and delusions come. We mix up everything. Out of that, we are asked to get free. That is the purpose of spiritual life and philosophy based on spirituality. Here is a task before you. Be free, be free. The world is always freedom. How to be free? How to be free? Something is just checking me. Something is what you call making me hamstring, as it were. How to become free from this? The greatest feeling in the heart of man is freedom. How to achieve freedom? Yesterday, a devotee from Berlin, with whom I stay when I go there, she sent a German newspaper and an English newspaper published from Berlin, only to inform me how East Germans are crossing over to West Germany. All the dividing wall is broken, and the tremendous joy and enthusiasm of the people who break through the wall and come to West Germany. They feel freedom. There they don't have that freedom. Here it is freedom. The biggest value, the greatest value is freedom. You can see there. The picture, the photographs of the people coming, men, women, children, thousands like that. That is what has come in the Hindu also today in the supplement. Huge crowd of people coming. Why? I am free. I am free. I am not manipulated by some external power. That is what the human soul seeks. Even the animal seeks freedom. Everybody seeks freedom. So here, this freedom from the Prakriti or nature, we have to achieve it ourselves. We have got our own nature within us, a divine nature. That is one nature, this is another nature. Both are nature. Both together constitute the totality of reality. What earlier chapter had said, Apara Prakriti, Para Prakriti. Bhagavan says, this cosmos, this nature is my lower Prakriti. In man there is a spark of divinity, that is my higher Prakriti. Between these two, I am the cause and the real support of the whole universe. This is what he had said in the 7th or 8th chapter. Prakriti dvaya dvarena sarvajna ishvaraha aham jagataha karanam. Shankara comments upon it. Through these twofold Prakritis, I, the infinite Lord, is the cause of the whole universe. That is unity that comes in Advaita Vedanta. Nature and the spirit, both are absorbed in one supreme spirit, namely Brahman, of the nature of pure consciousness. That is the nature of Brahman. So here, Mama Yorev Mahad Brahma. This Prakriti is called Mahad Brahma, that big Brahma. And that Brahma has to be activated to produce this universe. And I am the cause of making for that activation of Prakriti. Mama Yorev Mahad Brahma. This is an example taken from genetics, that new lives come through the joining of one element and another element. In between these two, the whole universe comes into being. So I am the one who is going to activate that Prakriti to start this kind of genetic process, new generation coming out like this. So Mama Yoner Mahad Brahma Tasmin Garbham Dathamyaham. I give the Garbha, or the particular stimulus for evolution of the living organism. So between us two, the whole world comes into being. Here, Prakriti is separated from me, and that Prakriti becomes the mother of the whole creation. We use the word divine mother. There's a wonderful concept, the idea of Shakti, that Parashakti, that Adishakti, that is the feminine principle. Behind this universe, there is also a feminine principle. Many poets and writers have referred to it, just like Gita. that famous German dramatist, he ends his famous book on Faust with this sentence: the eternal feminine marches on and on. That is a wonderful statement. There is an eternal feminine. That is what we call Prakriti in feminine language. That Maha Prakriti, or this divine mother of the universe, and here is the father. The father-mother idea is taken from normal life of living mammals to the highest level of creation itself. So, Mama Yonir Mahad Brahma Tasmin Garbham Dadhamyaham Sambhava Sarvabhutanam Tato Bhavati Bharata. All beings are born out of this combination. That is, two principles are there, Brahman and Prakriti, Shiva and Shakti. These two are needed. Out of that, the whole universe comes. And essentially, they are one. As Ramakrishna said, Brahman and Shakti are non-different. For purposes of getting this universe into being, there is a division between the two. But they are essentially one. One is the power of the other. Shakti means power. Brahman's real power is seen in Shakti. And both together constitute the origin, sustenance, dissolution of the whole universe. Sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. This is what you call human language dealing with the entire universe. We are only using our human language as an example. It's given there. Sarvayonisha kaunteya. Kaunteya. Murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahad yonihi aham bijaprada pita. Arjuna, whatever you see in the whole universe, in all the various beings in this world, murtaya sambhavantiyaha, whatever objects come out of this various causes in the world, tasam, among all of them, Brahma mahad yonihi. Brahma, or nature, is the female principle, and aham bija prada pita, and the masculine principle. Between us two, the whole universe comes into being. This is the human way of putting the whole cosmic process of evolution and development. Now comes the subject of the gunas. Sattvam rajas tamayati gunaha prakriti sambhavaha. Three gunas are there, born of Prakriti, Prakriti sambhava. Prakriti is constituted of the three gunas, but it is called born out of the guna, out of the Prakriti. What are they? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. The whole of Prakriti is an integration of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas constituents. Nibadhanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. This is there in the whole universe. But when you come to man, these three, in some form or the other, keep this man controlled and put in bondage. Man is put into bondage by the activities of these three forces of Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Nibadhanti, Jay puts it into bondage. Mahabaho, dehe, within the body. Dehinam, the self that is within the body. Avyayam, you say. Dehe, dehinam, avyayam. Dehi is avyaya, imperishable. This self that is within man. Caught up in this body, he becomes limited. He forgets his own real nature. Guna started acting on him. In what way they will act will be described later on. This is what has happened to man. His essential nature he has forgotten due to the influence of Prakriti with its three constituents, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Nibadhanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. Dehinam means one who has the body, and dehe means in this body. That one in the body is put into bondage by the activities of these three products of nature, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Then, how does it work? Tatra Sattvam Let us deal with sattva. How does it act on this human being, the one caught up in the body? Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat. It is pure. Sattva is pure, transparent, you can say. Nirmalatvat. Prakashakam, anamayam. It is also luminous and stainless. That is sattva element. Pure, stainless and luminous. That is sattva element within the body. Sukasangera badhnati. It binds man through attachment to happiness. Whenever serenity is there, I want to be happy, sattva is there. And that also binds him. It's also a cause of bondage. Sukasangena badhnati. Through the attachment to sukha or happiness, it binds man in this world. Jnana sangena cha anagha. Also, jnana sangha, attachment to knowledge, attachment to happiness, attachment to knowledge. Sattva is operating, man is bound by sattva. It is a bondage, but it is not as bad as the other bondages that come from rajas and tamas, but it's still a bondage. So all the gunas are bondages for the soul. Beyond the gunas is your real nature. That is what will come towards the end of the chapter. The nature of a sthita gunatita. One who has gone beyond the gunas. How does he behave? How does he live? There is a question Arjuna will ask later on. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi. Rajas, understand Arjuna, to consist of attachment. Wherever there is attachment, raga, attachment. Ragatmakam vidhi. Trishna sanga samudbhava. Born of Trishna or craving. From Trishna, this kind of thing, Rajas. Rajas gives birth to this Trishna. Trishna sanga samudbhavam. Giving rise to Trishna, attachment. Wherever Rajas predominates here, attachment, Trishna immediately comes out of it. And attachment. Thirst and attachment, both. Trishna and sanga. Trishna is desire, craving. Exact word will be craving. Trishna. Say for example, the trishu means hunger, thirst. That's also the same. I am eager to get a glass of water. That kind of desire coming out of it, that craving is called Trishna. In Buddha's teaching, this is the basis of all samsara life, relativity, all bondage, Trishna. You go beyond Trishna. That is a state where we are free, not at all controlled by external nature. So, Trishna sanga samudbhavam, both attachment by sattva and sanga, attachment. Rajas. Tasmat jnana jyoddhi, yes. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi. Trishna sanga samudbhavam. Coming of Trishna and asakti or attachment when Rajas predominates. Tan nibadhnati kaunteya karma sangena jayhinam. And this Rajas makes for the bondage of man through attachment to action. Where there is Trishna, there is also tendency to express that Trishna. That is called action. So we go on acting based upon the Trishna. Here you can see Rajas is predominating in the individual. Tannipadhati kaunteya. There is karma sangena, attachment to various actions. Dehinam, this particular self within the body is in bondage to that. Finally, tamas. Tamas to ajnanajam vidhi. Tamas is born of ajnana, ignorance. Tamas to ajnanajam vidhi. Mohanam sarvadehinam. It is a type of delusion for all beings. That is, wherever there is delusion in all beings, we find tamas predominance there. Tamas to ajnanajam vidhi, born out of ajnana. Dehinam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam. Mohanam. Moha means delusion. Deluding people. That is one big evil in human life, to be deluded. is mohanam. Pramada alasya nidrabhi. Through three particular moods of a human being. Pramada, alasya, nidra. Pramada is want of attention, want of alertness. When you are in tamas, you lose the power of attention. That's very important for human life, to be attentive, alert, but that is not possible when tamas predominates. Pramada, alasya, that sense of tiredness. Every time I say, oh, I am tired. मैं तो थक गया. हिंदी में बोलता है ना, मैं तो थक गया. I am tired. You can see the presence of tamas at that time. Then nidra, sleepy. Most of the time sleeping, not at all interested to work or anything. That is the way of tamas. So pramada, alasya, nidra, which for all beings come through this tamas element in our psyche, in our nature. Ajnanajam vidhi, mohanam sarvadehinam. All dehis, all human beings with a body, they are subject to this delusive power of tamas. That pramada, alasya, nidrabhi. Tan nipatnati bharata. That puts bondage on man, this tamas, through these various means. That's called tamas bondage. Sattva bondage, rajas bondage, tamas bondage. All the three produce bondage. Though there can be a better and a better in the experience of the three types, the lowest is tamas. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. Sattvam finds itself expressed in happiness. When you are happy, sattva is predominating in you. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. Sattvam is attached to happiness. That means attaches to happiness. Means whenever sattva predominates, happiness is there. We can see it. This is the result. Similarly, raja karmani bharata. When raja predominates, I must do something, I must do something. A restless mind. That is the way rajas predominates in the system. Jnanam avrityato tamaha. Pramade sanjayatyuta. Tamas envelops jnana in man, so that he gets absolutely no clarity of vision. Then what happens? Pramade, it goes on finding expression in pramada. Delusive attitudes come out of that ignorance. Here, tamas is operating within the person. How many times we do wrong when we are deluded under the condition of tamas operating within us. We can ourselves watch it. Oh, tamas is predominant. I must be careful. This knowledge is needed to deal with oneself and help others as well. Sukham is tasmat sukham sattve sanjayati raja karmani bharata jnanam avartyata tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. That is it. Sattva attaches to happiness and rajas to action. And, well, tamas, verily, shrouding discriminative power, viveka shakti, it is covered over by tamas and to miscomprehension, seeing wrong things instead of the right thing. All that comes from that delusive state of mind, because tamas is predominating at that time. When we say, I feel confused, I don't know what to do, all that shit you will find tamas is predominating in a human being. And these come in dominant state. First of all, there is nothing like separate sattva, separate rajas, separate tamas. They are all mixed up in nature and mixed up in us. But sometimes sattva predominates, sometimes rajas predominates, sometimes tamas predominates. This way. They cannot be separated, but predominance can be there. So he says, rajas tamas cha abhibhoya sattvam bhavati bharata. The sattva arises, O descendant of Bharata, predominating over rajas and tamas. That's called sattva predominant in this particular situation. The other two are there. They are not very active. So sattva manifests like this. Rajas sattvam tamaschaiva. Rajas manifests by controlling, dominating the tamas element within us. And similarly, tamas sattvam rajas tatha. Tamas predominates over rajas and sattva on certain occasions. These are the states through which we pass through every day. A little knowledge of this may help us to improve ourselves, controlling, dominating the tamas element within us. And similarly, tamas sattvam rajas tatha. Tamas predominates over rajas and sattva on certain occasions. These are the states through which we pass through every day. A little knowledge of this may help us to improve ourselves without going to the hands of a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Very often we can help ourselves by knowing, yes, this is the situation, yet that enemy has come, I must be careful. That alertness will come to a man and he can become his own master in developing his character. Rajas sattvam tamaschaiva, tamas sattvam rajas tatha. Then, sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattva. Whenever you find in this body of man, he says, sarvadvareshu, in every openings of this body, that means all the senses are always tranquility and peacefulness. That state you experience. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate, light, luminous. That state you experience. Jnanam, and jnana, knowledge. A day, a little knowledge of this may help us to improve ourselves without going to the hands of a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Very often we can help ourselves by knowing, yes, this is the situation, yet that enemy has come, I must be careful. That alertness will come to a man and he can become his own master in developing his character. Rajas sattvam tamaschaiva, tamas sattvam rajas tatha. Then, sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattva. Whenever you find in this body of man, he says, sarvadvareshu, in every openings of this body, that means all the senses are always tranquility and peacefulness. That state you experience. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate, light, luminous. That state you experience. Jnanam, and jnana, knowledge. That luminosity comes from knowledge only. Yada, when, tada, then, vidyat, please know. Vivruddham sattva. Sattva has become predominant. This kind of tranquility, a sense of luminosity within, that is the presence of jnana. At that time, you can be sure sattva element is predominating in this. Sattva. Similarly, lobha pravrittirarambha karmanam ashama spraha. Lobha, greed. Similarly, pravrittirarambha, constantly planning new actions going on in the mind. These two, karmanam ashama, he says, spraha, undertaking, full of unrest, longing, comes to there. At that stage, you can see rajas yetani jayante. All these are born out of the rajas predominating at the time. Rajasi yetani jayante vivruddhe bharadarshabha. When rajas becomes predominant, vivruddhe, then all these activities, all these attitudes will come to a human being. Lobha, pravritirarambha. Lobha, greed. I have this, I want this more, this more, this more. All that state, that is rajas. That is, similarly, karmanam ashamaha. You don't get rid of karma. You only add and add and add. Ashama means without control, without discipline. You go on working. That kind of thing. Something impelled by some force within you. You are not doing it yourself. Some force is impelling you. Karmanam ashamas praha. That desire. Rajasi etani jayante. These are present in man when rajas becomes predominant. Vivruddhe bharadashabha. Then, last is tamas. Aprakasho. He says, apravrittischa, pramado, moha evacha, tamasetani jayante, nivruddhe gurunandana. Whenever these 3 or 4 are active in a man or present in a person, know for certain tamas is predominating at that time. What are they? Aprakasho, no kind of light in the mind. Mind is all cloudy. Aprakasho. Similarly, apravartishya, no desire to act. Just lie down, that kind of thing. That's called apravarti, no impulse to action. Then pramado, tremendous delusion, pramada. Moha, both are the same more or less. Moha evacha, that is miscomprehension and delusion. Pramada is miscomprehension and moha is delusion. Then tamasetani jayante vivruddhe. When tamas is predominant, these things will appear in human beings. Therefore, we can watch them. This is the tamas now. I know what is going on. It is good to know. Even when I do wrong, it is good to know that I am doing wrong. That's way to get rid of it also. So in this way, knowledge is very elevating. In the 4th chapter, Krishna had said, there is nothing so purifying as knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadasham pavitram iha vidyate. Jnana is supremely a purifying principle. Water can purify the body, but the mind can be purified only by knowledge. So here is knowledge that will help us to handle our own life and those of those who are given to your care. Even children, we can guide them properly. We know they are in this condition, they are in that condition, etc. The knowledge is good. You can handle yourself and others. Yan. Yada sattve pravruddhe tu prayam yati deha prat tato uttama vidam lokam amalan pratipadyate. When the sattva is predominant, at that time you die. Then you reach high worlds. Very uttama means highly noble levels of existence you get as a result of that state of sattva. Yada sattve pravruddhetu prayam yati dehaprat. This person who owns this body, who is in this body, when he dies at the time of, when sattva is predominant, then his fate will be uttamavidam lokan, worlds in which great knowing persons have already gone. You will also go there. Lokan, amalan, they are pure words. Pratipadyate, whatever be the nature of that state, the sattva state takes you to high levels of future existence. Then, uttamavitam lokan, amalan pratipadyate, rajasi pralayam gatva, karma sangishu jayate. When you pass away, when rajas is predominant, you will be reborn among people deeply attached to action. You will also be one of them. That is meant for that. Karma sangishu, those who are attached to action. In that world, you will be born. Then, and tamasi, karmana, yeah. Yeah. Rajasi pralayam gatva. When rajas is predominant, this is what will happen. You will be born among people devoted to action. But tatha pralaya murhevanishu jayate. Tamasi. When tamas is predominant, at the time of death, we are born in Mudha Yonishu, foolish, what you call, beings, mostly subhuman species. We get birth there. There is tamas is predominant there. Therefore, there is a danger of going down in the scale of life and evolution. Whenever this subject is raised in the West, there is a protest. How can man go and be born as an animal? It is a real protest. Because in the West, there is a big gulf between subhuman species and human species. Big gulf. There is no contact between the two. We don't have that theory in this country. In fact, in Christian teaching in the West, animals have no souls at all. That's a theory. We don't have that theory. Soul is there. Only their body is not evolved enough to manifest all the beauty of that soul. Human body, you can achieve it better. So we don't have a cut and dry division between subhuman species and the human species. Therefore, I can be born there, I can be born here, according to my karma. If my karma demands I must have an animal body to manifest all that vasana, then nobody can stop it as a law. That's the nature of this teaching, and we don't find a gulf between human level and the subhuman level. One continuous existence, and this is nearer to modern concept of evolution, that we have all come from a lower level to a higher level. If I don't behave well here, if my tendencies are such, only an animal body can satisfy, then we have to go. There's no question of saying I like or I don't like. You may not like it, but law doesn't care whether you like it or not. You have to. That's the language Vedanta uses in this context. Then the questions will come whenever I speak in some of the Western countries. Suppose I die. Will I be born in a white country, or I may be born in a black country or a brown country? That is the fear. That yes, for fun I will say, if you have done really good work, you will be born in a non-white country. So it is purely a question of whatever thoughts I have thought, whatever deeds I have done, yatha karma, yatha shrutam. The next life depends only on this one condition. What is the nature of your life in this present state? That will determine your future state. Very animal tendencies, animal cravings are there, then why not have it fully satisfied through an animal birth? Or people ask that question. That is the only place where you can fully satisfy that kind of desire. So, no likes and dislikes can come in a law operating on human life. Karma is a law. As you sow, so shall you reap, the Bible has said. That's karma theory. As you sow, so shall you reap. If you sow some sort of ordinary grain, you don't get a high-class rice or high-class wheat out of it. What you sow, that will come to you. So karma is like that. I have done good deeds, thought good thoughts, helped people, served people. That's beautiful. Your next life will be certainly far better than this. But I troubled people always, did wickedness, then naturally you have to be born in a very different type of physical embodiment in the future. You can't predict what it will be, but nature knows its own way of getting these things done. This is done by nature, not by our conscious mind. That is one difference. So you can simply say, well, you deserve this, so you got it. Nature has done it according to your own acts and thoughts in this life. So, protesting that it is below my dignity to be there is no use in this condition. The only way is to live better. Then there is no fear. You should always be in a good state of life, higher and higher, day by day. So, sattva, rajas and tamas, these things predominating in us will take us to various types of life in the next birth. Aprakasho, aprati, yada sattve pralayam yati. Similarly, Tatha praidam tamasi mudha yovanishu jayate. Mudha yovani is what you call where there is no knowledge, only instinct. Subhuman species, only instincts are there. No knowledge is there. Knowledge only comes at the human level. Then, karmana sukritasyahu satvikam nirmalam phalam. The karma based on sattva, its fruit is satvikam nirmalam phalam. Pure fruit will come out of that action. Sattvika karma. There. Rajasastu phalam dukkham. Through rajas, we get more of sorrow, suffering. Rajas is full of energy, activity, outgoing mind. Out of that will come more of suffering. But from the tamasappalam, what is that? Ajnanam, tamasappalam, absolute ignorance. That is the state of tamas. That is the phalam of tamas. That's all. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam, rajaso lobha evacha. Through sattva comes knowledge. Rajas gives you attachment, lobha, greed, product of rajas. First is knowledge, second is greed. Then pramada mohau tamaso. Tamas will give us pramada and moha. That is, both are evil states of the mind. Delusion, no kind of clarity, all that will come out of tamas. Ajnanamevacha. Bhavato ajnanamevacha. Along with ajnana. Utter ignorance. A foolish mind. That is the nature of ignorance here. Almost like an animal level. That will be the fruit of tamasic state. Yes, sir. Then similarly he puts here, urdham gachanti sattvastha. Those established in sattva go upwards, higher levels of evolution. The word upwards means as if not a physical upwards. In modern biology, sometimes the words come, though generally scientists do not use such words, but they are compelled to use when they deal with human beings. There is going higher, higher, higher. The word higher has no meaning in physical science. It is a value kind of judgment. Well, there is no higher, there is no lower, but they are compelled to use it because facts are such. So, urdhvam gachanti sattvastha. Those who are established in sattva, they move upwards. They evolve upwards, higher and higher levels of evolution. So in modern theory of evolution also, the lower level, higher level. Though lower and higher are not scientific terms. They are value-oriented terms, but they cannot escape using. Therefore the word higher is often used, higher state of evolution. And today's biology says there is that higher state of evolution. This human being can go higher and higher. Psychosocial evolution and achieve finally total fulfillment of life. That's the goal of evolution. Fulfillment. Are you fulfilled? Nature asks you. Then you must be able to say, yes, I have. That is the goal of evolution. So here he says, urdhvam gachanti sattvastha. Established in sattva, you go upwards. Madhye tishtati rajasa. Those who are dominated by rajas, they stay in the middle state, just as a human being. That's all. No higher kind of evolution for you, because you are under rajas. Then, jaganya guna vrittistha, adho gachanti tamasaha. Those who are tamasic, they go downward. Adho gachanti, says, adho gachanti. Jaganya guna vrittistha. Their activities will be of a very low nature. In that kind of state, they will go when tamas is very predominant here. So, jaganya guna vrittistha, he says, the tamasika abiding in the function of the lowest guna, he says. They go to these evils. Rajasika, sattvika upwards, rajasika middle, tamasika going downward in evolution. That is the description of the gunas operating on human life in a long range point of view. Then, nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drishta anupashyati. Gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam so adhigacchati. It's a very interesting sentence. It says, if you see nothing but the gunas as the cause of all the activities going on in you and outside you, nanyam gunebhya kartaram. The agent of action is the gunas, not yourself. That we must realize. The self is ever free, ever pure. We don't know the truth. We got mixed up with the gunas. Now we realized it. Gunas are doing this thing. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram. Yada drashta anupashyati. This seer realizes this truth. All the activities are done by the gunas. Gunas working in gunas. There is action. That is prakriti. And not I. They gunebhyascha param veti. I am above the gunas. Param means above. Superior to the gunas. Madbhavam so adhigacchati. He becomes one with me. Krishna says, one with the divine. That is called freedom. That is called spiritual emancipation. That is the language. So, this is the goal for all of us. Knowing the gunas, getting rid of their influence on you, step by step, from tamas to rajas, then rajas to sattva. Eventually, sattva also is thrown away, because all the three are part and parcel of nature. The Purusha is far beyond it, ever free, ever pure. That knowledge must come. This is the idea in this section. The Sankhya philosophy, interpreted in terms of Vedanta, gives you this knowledge. So, gunan etan atitya trin. When you go beyond these three gunas, etan gunan, these gunas, atitya, transcending, he says. Three gunas. Dehi, this individual with a body, what does he do? Deha samadbhavan. This gunas created a body. You are having that body. Though you are having the body, you are not dominated by that body, dominated by the three gunas. The self in you is not product of the gunas. That is independent. But at present, it is touched by the body, controlled by the body, naturally controlled by the three gunas. Janma mrityu jara dukkhair vimukto. He becomes free from janma, mrityu and jara. Jara means old age. And the other is birth and death. Amritamashnote. He becomes free. He becomes immortal. That is his true nature. In nature outside, it's all mortality, constant change and change and change. But the one that is immortal is your true self. You realize that state. So, gunanetan atitya trin, dehi deha samadbhavan, the embodied one having gone beyond these three gunas, out of which the body is evolved. See that body belongs to the gunas, not I. I am beyond the gunas. Now I have achieved that state. Trigunatita, I become. Vimukto amritamashnute, we become free and enjoy the immortal state, which is my natural state. Both Vedanta and Sankhya take you to that state through all these instructions that they give. The Purusha is ever free, according to Sankhya, but he forgets it and then gets caught up in the coils of Prakriti. Try to be free from it. I try, I am not able to do. Work hard. One day you will be, because that is your true nature. That is why. If a pot is dirty, you just clean it with ashes, tamarind, this and that, and finally it will shine like anything. Mind also has to be like this. Therefore, this is the teaching Vedanta and Sankhya give. How to make man free. It's not salvation, but freedom. Freedom. The state of freedom in Sankhya is Kaivalya Avastha, aloneness. I am alone. I am not caught up by the crowd here, by nature and its products, the Kevala Avastha. The Jaina philosophy, largely based on Sankhya system, speaks of the Kevalin, the great Tirthankaras were Kevalins. Alone, alone. That's a wonderful state, to be alone. I am not caught up under anything. So that is one state. The other is moksha. freedom, liberation, Vedantic language. But Vedanta uses the Sankhyan terms, Sankhya uses Vedanta terms also. Man's freedom, emancipation. That's the main subject. And we are not free now. We are caught up in the coils of Prakriti, not only of Rajas and Tamas, even of Sattva. Go beyond Sattva, says Vedanta, and today Sri Ramakrishna adds his own words to this wonderful truth. Why should I go beyond Sattva? Because Sattva also is a part of a constituent of Prakriti, so that you don't become in bondage to Prakriti. So Ramakrishna expresses this through a beautiful parable. He says, a person was going through a forest. 3 thieves came and attacked him. After attacking, robbing him, and the first thief said, bind him and kill him. No use of keeping him alive. Like that. Then about to kill, then another thief said, no, why do you kill him? We shall bind him nicely, put him here, and we have taken his wealth, we shall go away. The third thief watched all this. After the 2 thieves had gone away, he came to this person. So sorry you are in this trouble. He removed his bandage, all of them. And come on, I will show you your home through this forest. Slowly took him into the forest and shows that is the town, that such and such a place may be your house, you go now. At that time this man was so thankful. You have done so much good to me. You please come with me to my house. You are all, I want to honor you. He said, no, I cannot go. I am also a thief. The police will be after me. I can do this much for you and come away. This is what, first is tamas, second is rajas, third is sattva. All the 3 are thieves, but one is very nice thief, very kind-hearted, good like that. You have seen in normal life this happens. We have seen when you get kind of robbers, there are fine robbers who have got some human feelings who are there, but they are under the surveillance of the police. They are not free, so keep away. So Ramakrishna said, Sattva also is a thief. You have to go beyond Sattva. So in the second chapter, Krishna had said, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. All the Vedas deal with the 3 gunas. Arjuna, you go beyond the 3 gunas. So that was taken up there. In the middle also some place it was taken in by the Gita. Now in this chapter, this is specially mentioned. You go beyond the 3 gunas. Triguna Atita, a wonderful state of pure freedom and delight. Great sages attain this. All are liable to attain it. Depends upon the effort we put forth. If not now, next time I shall get. That's why the Hindus believe in different births. I couldn't achieve everything in this birth. I shall continue in the next birth. That was discussed by Krishna in the, what you call, the sixth chapter of the Gita, Dhyana Yoga chapter. So, up to this, we have come. This made Arjuna to ask a question. When you go beyond all the 3 gunas, then you get freedom from Janma, Jara, Mrityu. And so, Vimukto, we become free. Amrutamashnute, you realize immortality. The highest state is immortal state. We are mortal now. But the body is mortal. What is inside is not mortal. It is immortal. But because it is caught up by the body, it is also like mortal. So when you realize the highest truth, you become immortal, deathless. Buddha, when he achieved his bodhi or illumination, he came to Benares and told the 5 disciples there, the immortal has been gained by me. You can also try and get it. These are all strong affirmations of people who have realized a state. Anybody can attain it. This is only a state. Buddhahood is not a person, but a state. Anybody can attain Buddhahood. That is how Buddha expressed this great idea. So, this gave Arjuna an opportunity to ask a question. What is the nature of that state? The Guna Atita state. As in the second chapter, when Krishna